Neighbors, this is Rainey Miatke.
Hi.
And she is a recent recipient of the IBMA Momentum Award instrumentalist, and we're so stoked to be visiting with her today because she's amazing and such a light in the bluegrass community, playing with the amazing Sister Sadie band. And some of y'all might have seen the Monroe Jam Workshop we did a couple years ago or whatever, when the bear was walking in the background and she was playing the Golden West and all that good stuff. But yeah, she's one of the most amazing creative mandolin players out there, and it's good to visit with you here today. Rainey, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
So welcome.
Fun.
Yeah, it's a real treat to, and so you're a recent mover to Nashville.
Yes.
You're in Nashville for a while.
Yeah, I moved back in June.
Yeah.
And I've barely been here in town. I've been gone most of the time, but I'm finally home for a bit now.
Yeah, festival season, super busy. And y'all have a new album.
We do. We have a new album out. It came out a couple months ago. I'm not on the album because it was recorded like right before I joined the band. So it's an amazing.
You're in like a music video too, though, right?
Yeah, I'm in the. You know, I'm on the cover of the music videos, but it was just before my time. So I'm, hoping to be on the next one. But it is an amazing album. It's called All Will Be Well. Yeah. It's kind of like 90s country inspired and country inspired and kind of fun. So.
We were just talking about your new mandolin there.
Yes.
And tell us about how you come to have that one.
So this is a Duff mandolin from 1999. It's super sweet. I love it.
Is he Australian?
He's Australian, yeah. It's amazing how many great mandolins come out of Australia, honestly.
Right?
But yeah, I love it. I got it about a little over a year ago, like right after I joined Sister Sadie. I got it in I think June of last year. And yeah, it's so sweet. It was actually gifted to me from a dear friend back in my hometown in Oregon, and he knew that I was
good people doing good things with their instruments.
Oh, shout out to Louie, he's the best.
Louie, appreciate you.
Yeah, he knew that I was like in the market for one and kind of not necessarily finding anything that I was needing, and he has a small collection, and he just wanted to give this to me. So it's been treating me well.
It suits your style so beautifully.
Thanks.
How would you say that your picking has grown in the last couple years working with the ladies?
Yeah, I've learned so much from them, just like musically and about the industry and everything. I feel like I just feel so lucky to be able to come into the scene like right out of college, and even like while I was in college, and just get this learning opportunity. I think playing with a band like that, where like Deanie and Gina have been on the scene for so long, and just like they know their stuff, and they always have really good advice, and they always and I mean musically, obviously, I'm just like soaking up all of their
Let's
awesome...
unpack the advice a little bit. What do you feel like are a couple pieces of advice that were really meaningful to you, Randy?
That's a good question. I think honestly, one thing that I'm really inspired by with Deanie and Gina is just the way that they sort of surround themselves with like the people that they resonate with. And I think like just not being willing to work with somebody who maybe doesn't have their best interest at heart, especially as a woman in the music industry. I think being in a band of all women, like just coming into it and knowing like some of the things that they've experienced in the industry, and some of the things that can often happen with all woman bands and like different festivals, kind of maybe not wanting to hire multiple women bands at once, and just like they've just sort of come to understand like who really respects what we're doing, and who maybe...
And you don't want to work for the rest of the people.
Yeah, I mean, there are great people everywhere, but exactly, things are changing, and I think just the amount of respect, like they've really showed me that you can say yes to everything, but also really respect yourself and like recognize what's a good opportunity, and even just calling Deanie and being like, I'm playing the session, like what should I charge, or even little things like that, just always being there and helping me know what to do and like who to talk to and what type of gear to get, and they're just such mentors at heart, and like it's been it's been a great
I get a really a good sense from the band in general. I think this is kind of a little bit of a subjectively interesting topic. But before we do, please like and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that little bell there for the notifications. You'll get all the good stuff from Noya Mountain Music. Thank you. And please consider becoming a patron on patreon.com/Noya Mountain Music. Like with bluegrass, it can be easy to sing songs that really don't mean anything. You know, Old 9-Pound Hammer is like, okay, maybe it means something, you know, but I sense that there's a little bit more of a focus towards like cultural relevance with the song choices and like making stuff mean something from the heart rather than just playing another song. Well, sometimes a good song is just a good song. You don't, do it for that reason alone. It's got a cool melody or whatever.
That's a great point, though.
But I think that Sister Sadie is like really picking songs that mean something for this day and age, and that's a good thing. But I'm glad to hear that I think that Deanie has just been a mentor for so many people, and she's just so amazing. And what a band leader! Yeah,
she's the best. I love her so much. I didn't know her before I joined the band, and she's just been like somebody that I just have so much respect for, and somebody, I mean, I had amazing mentors growing up, but it would have been like, I'm sure as a kid it would have been so fun to just like soak up her wisdom, and but it's happening now, and she's just the best.
She really is.
But that's a great point about like song choice in bluegrass, and in I think, I mean, we write a lot of our own songs. Danny and Deanie write incredible songs. Jaylee writes great songs. We collaborate on that stuff too, but just I think that is something that we think about, especially even like thinking about whenever we might record next, like thinking about what songs we might play. I mean, there's a lot of thought that goes into it behind the scenes, just like, this song is just really generic, or it's really like it doesn't have any, like it doesn't strike a chord within us, and we like to sing about things that really move us and make a difference to us, whether it is personal relationships or just, Deanie and Danny wrote this song "Let the Circle Be Broken" about ending generational like abuse and trauma in your family, and it's huge. So topical and so impactful, and it's been fun to like see how they do that process, and they're such great songwriters.
Maybe that's a good segue into talking about like where you're seeing yourself as a writer these days, and like maybe anything that's interesting that you've learned about that process, songwriting by yourself or with other people. Anything been like revelatory? Totally.
Recently? I felt like I've had pretty bad writer's block recently. It kind of comes and goes. When I love writing songs. I don't necessarily write like just straight grass songs, they're a little bit
Telecaster and all kinds of different inspiration.
Like tons of different inspirations for songwriting, and it's been really fun. It's something that I kind of want to do more intentionally, and like maybe like challenge myself to write a song a week, or whatever it is, because I think that helps with inspiration. But just
that marriage, that balance between, I used to do that a little bit here in town, just force myself to write, and be like, okay, I know this isn't a great song, but I'm going to practice the craft. That way, when I do have some inspiration, I got a few more tools or a few more rhymes, or just kind of a little bit more in practice when something really meaningful is coming through. Right,
and you have even like bits and pieces. Like I record everything that I think of, and even if nothing ever happens to it, sometimes I'll come back to something that I like a voice memo from a year ago and be like, I want to add on to that, and then it becomes something cool. But I've been doing a lot of tune writing also recently. Like I think when lyrics don't come to me, I'll just write a tune instead.
Now when that's happening, are you like, is it more led by what your mandolin is leading to, or is it more of like an inner hummy kind of like you hear the melody coming in, or a little bit of both? It can happen so many different ways.
That's a good question. I think both. I think I've always heard about people dreaming tunes and then waking up, and I've done that, but I've never been able to remember them.
It's so hard
when I woke up. But I will, walk around like humming a random, and it's usually like probably a piece of something else, like another, all songwriters and tune writers borrow from.
Yeah, that's an interesting place when you get into that situation where you're like, I think this is something else, and then you figure it out what it is, and then you're like, what do you do then? You're like, okay, is it okay for this old tune to have like new clothes and a new name?
Right.
Or you try to change something. I guess it's like different in every moment.
I think it's maybe a mix of both. I think I've kind of come to the decision that it as long as you're not just ripping off somebody's tune or song directly, everybody borrows from, we all have those melodies in our heads all the time, and there's only, nothing is really a new thought at this point.
Right, nothing new.
But like if it's too close, I might try to change something. But I think even with tune writing, my last semester of college, which was back in the spring, I was in like a little tune writing ensemble, and we basically challenged ourselves to write one tune per week, and then we would bring the tune and play it for everybody. And it was fun. There were like people making electronic music in there, and people playing banjo. Like it was just a whole
all kinds of stuff.
Ran the gamut of like musicality in different like genres, but
that's cool.
It was
inspiration from everybody.
And people kind of collabed too, but it was I feel like I grew so much even in those like few months of doing that. And I realized like if I make myself do it, I'm capable of just writing tunes.
Okay, folks, that's it. It's cultivating the healthy discipline. You gotta make yourself eat your vegetables or whatever it is, musically speaking. And practice at least a little bit of the stuff that isn't the most fun. Sometimes we call that grunt work with the scales and the arpeggios. Do you have like a practice routine that you stick to, or is it kind of here and there?
I'm working on having more of a routine. I think that's something that I always tell like any students that I have or people who ask for advice. I'm like, practice routine. I need to practice what I preach.
Same.
I think I'm getting more into like warming up before I play, because I sometimes have like tension or pain in my.
Yeah. What's your go-to warm up to just loosen up?
You can do like just like different there's like stretches that you can do with your fingers and just like little like.
What does that look like?
Even because there's so much, everything's so connected, and so I carry a lot of tension in my traps, like in my shoulders. So even like rolling out my head and then like stretching, like even stretching my arms as if I was gonna like do a workout or something, and it's then coming down, and you can do like gentle finger stretches, and you can like, if you sit down on the floor, you can like stretch your hands out this way on the floor and stretch them out this way. But it really helps. I don't do it every time, but singers warm up their voices, and I'm realizing how important it is. I've been
Yeah.
inspired by a couple people I've met who actually do that stuff, because it's rare. I think
Uh-huh.
people don't often do it. But then just these days, I'm mostly practicing whatever I need for the next gig. Like you have to kind of prioritize with the time that you have, as you definitely know.
Yeah. So like when you're working up something new, how do you approach it? So you got a new song. Do you just kind of start by like humming it and listening to it, of course, but then like getting the chords, or are you kind of like working on refining what your approach is for your breaks, or trying different things, different textures?
I mean, it's everything.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm sort of madly learning some telly stuff for a gig that I have coming up, and I think what I start out doing usually, especially if I'm on the road, is just listen, like over and over and over again.
Listening.
That is huge. Like, I can learn, and you can, train your ear to do this, but I can really pick something up the fastest. And I don't really read sheet music. So for me, like, I mean, I can, but it's so unhelpful and slow for me, because I'm just so slow at it. But I can really, if I listen over and over again, and listening with intention, like that's another thing, not just like passively, listening, but if you want to pick out mandolin parts, like really maybe put on some good headphones, or like through a good speaker where you can hear it, but then just pick out. Not
just always through your iPhone. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if you got to do what you're working with, but
that's right.
You like use what you have, but you can pick out the parts, and like if I just play it over and over again in my head, even try to visualize. Like a lot of times on the road, I don't have time to, like, I can't practice in the van, or it's tricky if you're crowded in there. So I try to visualize my left hand, like what are they doing there, and then I'll come home and actually just play along. And usually I can play it if I've listened enough times. But then so like get the chords, and if I'm learning note for note, I'll just maybe slow down the break and like learn it. But otherwise, just start to think about like improvisationally what I might do, or even like make up a little solo or something. But yeah.
So when you are thinking about maybe some things that have been coming into your flow, into your mandolin play in the last couple of years, is there anything like new conceptually that you're like excited about on the mandolin? Or like different ways that you're approaching stuff now that are new? That's a good question. Sometimes like the process of like growth is just like so subtle you don't notice it. Like
I think that's the thing.
It's getting better, refining,
Yeah. I mean, it happens like when you aren't expecting it, or you don't notice because you're just doing it every day, and it's like looking back, I can see the progress that I've made, but in the moment it just feels like you're just grinding away at it. But I think just kind of realizing like what I'm capable of in terms of even like arranging and like adding to a song. I think with Sister Sadie, as we've been working up a little bit of new material, and it's been fun because when I came into the band, I just learned what they were already playing, and learned a lot of the parts, and kind of tried to like fit in there as a new person, and not do anything too crazy. But now we're working up some new stuff, and I feel like I can creatively like be part of the process of arranging. And I think just like thinking about, and I try to absorb this with all the different mandolin players that I love, because there are so many different styles, but like thinking about how different people use the instrument to enhance a piece of music, because it's not a generic thing, like instrument to instrument. There's just
like
different
cookie cutter thing that works every song. And so just thinking about, and like knowing, I think one thing that's been hitting me is somebody said, and I wish I don't remember, I was talking to somebody who was saying that the silence between the notes is just as important as the notes you're playing. And that one is one that I think has hit me recently. Like I think for a long time it was just about the notes,
what I was playing and the notes, like trying to sound good. But the spaces in between and how much space you leave. And I think a lot of people in bluegrass just try to cram as many notes in there as possible, which I get, like it's fun to just go for it. But I love when somebody like tastefully or intentionally leaves space, and just like knowing when to lay out on a song, even like knowing when, okay, I don't need to be filling or playing chords, like maybe like it's just because not everybody's gonna tell you, like your bandmate might not tell you like
Good point.
lay out here because they don't want to, you know,
it's sensitive,
make waves. But I mean, or maybe they will, and I do appreciate direct feedback, but like starting to just think about it and listen to like the whole picture and everything that's going on, and think like, would mandolin make this better or worse, or like what would make, I don't know if that makes sense. But
it totally makes sense, because we're thinking, we're gonna do stuff, we want to do stuff. Sometimes the best thing you can do is do nothing, and just chop your mandolin, or maybe chop your mandolin even quieter or whatever. You know? Or maybe, you know, so it doesn't have to be like full on all the time, and that can be like a nicely liberating thing when you're like, I'm playing with good people. I don't have to like make everything happen. I can just kind of lay back and support, you know, whatever, you know, anybody's doing in the moment. And I feel like for myself, those are lessons, or that's a lesson that I learned over and over again. And just like last night playing with Sean Camp, you know, you got so many amazing musicians on stage. You don't have to fill up everything. Right. It's like, you know, maybe just like enjoy, you know, what's happening, and like loosen yourself up from like the pressure of feeling like you have to make something happen all the time.
Totally. Yeah. That's awesome. It's so, especially when you're playing with people like that. I mean, everybody's so good, and just you don't have to carry everything all the time, and even just like taking a second and hearing everything that's going on around you in the band is so fun. Like just like, wow, I'm playing amidst all these people and all this sound, like, and sonic information, and just like taking a moment to take it all in. Yeah. I mean, that's what we're here to do. We're here to enjoy, you know, the music and the company, and we can get in our own heads like so often about what we're doing, just like looking down all the time, looking at the right hand or the left hand, when like the most fun is like looking and listening with the people that you're around and connecting to it that way. I think that's you know, some of this stuff, as one might, you know, expect, these are like after you learn to play and you can play the chords and you can do okay, there are all these other things that you start to think about that kind of add towards the fulfilling the potential of any moment. And of course every moment is different. You know, so you might need to really like put the energy into a session sometimes, like if you're the only person, or if you're the most experienced or whatever. But when you're playing with good musicians, and even when you're just playing with people who are still learning, you can still find that good balance without taking up too much musical space. I remember, I'll tell a little story of myself. I used to play with my sister, you know, and like, you know, I come from this really aggressive, you know, Monroe, like my dad's like, you know, so aggressive on the mandolin, and that was what I liked to do. And one time we played a gig, and she said it, and she's very direct. She's like, you take up too much space. Wow.
You know, and thank you for saying that. I'm not trying to like, you know, talk down on this moment, but it was revelatory for that moment, because no one else had ever told me that, and they probably had thought it many times. But just and it took me years to kind of process that and accept that and learn to love that. It's like we're all just trying to do the best job we can, and I was just used to like, oh, you got to play like hard all the time, and no, you just don't. Sometimes the best thing to do is just relax, and that's liberating. It's like you don't have to force it to be good. Sometimes it can just be good if you're just like grooving. Yeah,
absolutely. That's a great story, and I totally relate. I think, and leave it to siblings, like sisters. I grew up playing with my sister, and I really like, nobody will be as honest with you as your family, you know, as your sibling. Like, exactly. And
even if they might sting a little bit in the moment.
There can be, there have definitely been some altercations when we were little with like, you're not playing it right. No, you're not playing it right. But ultimately, like, as we grow, I've learned so much from her musicality.
What's her
and
name?
Leela.
Yeah.
She plays the fiddle and sings. She's awesome.
Hi, Leela.
Hi, Leela. But that's a great, sisters will be real with you.
Yeah. And hopefully, you know, there's a rapport established there, like you love each other, and so you can kind of, and you'll have that dynamic with different people. But I think having a little bit of a thick skin in the right moments. Of course, you don't just want to like hang out with somebody all the time who's you know, browbeating you, or you know, that can happen even like non-verbally. It's just like a vibe, like a judgy vibe or whatever, which can kill the music, can kill the, you know, the joy. And so we're all just trying to cultivate, you know, as much bliss, you know, in the system as we can, which is an interesting thing with bluegrass, especially because like so much about bluegrass is like lonesomeness and sorrow and heartbreak. And like, I don't have a therapist because it's 1950 and I'm single and I gotta get all this out through the music. There's a beauty there and like the blueness of the whole thing. But this is one thing that I suppose I've noticed with bluegrass culture, and maybe the world in general. Maybe that's being generous. Maybe it's true. Is that we don't want to stay lonesome. You know, that's not actually the goal of, you know, if you're stuck in the lonesome rut for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, it's like you want to see yourself making progress past the blues.
Yeah.
And that's like, you know, that's one of my favorite things about Del McCoury. Like when you watch Del McCoury back in like the 90s and he's singing the bluest man in town.
Yeah.
There was some real blues in there.
Yeah.
But he won the bell and he won the game and rang the bell so hard, you know, with his family and his success. Now he gets up on stage and like, when he sings the bluest man in town these days, it doesn't, you're like, no, you're a happy person. And that's good. I mean, he'll still sing the crap out of it. It'll be great. But I love that about Del. It's because he like graduated past the lonesomeness. So many people, the Bill Monroes, you know, I remember Billy Smith told me, it's kind of a sad story, you know, about Bill Monroe, but he kept his blues like the whole time. He was, and that always gave his music a power. Like when he was singing "The Wayfaring Stranger" or his blues or whatever, you know, that blues was present there. Billy Smith, my buddy, who was good friends with Bill, they were hanging out one time, and Bill Monroe was like, "Billy, who's your friends?" And Billy's like, "Oh, you know, Alan O'Brien, Terry Eldridge, and John Hedgecock, you know, whatever. They die." And then Billy Smith goes to Bill. He says, "Who's your friends, Bill?" And Bill goes, "I don't know."
What?
It's like, dang, that's blue. That's so lonesome.
Man, that's so dramatic.
It's so dramatic. And that, you know, the blues that Monroe carried, you know, but all this to say that we're trying to actually move into like a more joyful place. Not that we don't have like important stuff to sing about and battles to pick and fight in the good way.
Absolutely.
But I feel like there's a real joy that comes through your playing that's uplifting to people. And I just love that. I think the world needs more of it.
Yeah. Man, that's a great point. Like, everything you're saying really hits home. I think, I mean, even, you'll see Del now singing those songs, but with, like, the biggest grin on his face. Like, just
love it.
He looks so happy, and I mean, I totally agree. I do think that people can easily start to, in this industry and in this, like, genre, can start to romanticize the struggle. And, like...
That's it right there. That's a great way to put it.
And especially beyond, I mean... A lot of the old songs like come from places of struggle and even like 9 Pound Hammer, like all of that stuff like is coming from, I mean, that culture, like that time in life and
that was hard
like
living.
People working and struggling and all of these old songs. And now it's interesting to sing those because we're just in a totally different generation, and it's not, and I love all those songs, and it's not like you can't sing them and play them and have fun, but definitely like actually thinking about how what you're playing can like align with your life and your goal of growth, because it's so easy to wallow and to romanticize the struggle of like bluegrass and old time and country music and romanticize the heartbreak and but really like there's totally a balance there, and I don't feel like enough people talk about that, and so I love hearing you talk about it.
I think it's an important conversation which can circle back to like Peter Owen kind of talks about it as like the remove. Like these songs can be such a vehicle for universal expression, but you can kind of hide behind them in a way too. You sing 9 Pound Hammer and there's no vulnerability there. It's like you're not burying like a huge part of your soul.
Right.
I mean, maybe like, you know, some people can get after more of that than others. But the alchemy to move through that and to use your songwriting as that alchemical tool. You know, songwriting is such a tricky thing. It can be like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like I remember years ago when I was writing I was talking earlier about like crafting songs. And so a lot of those songs would be like blues songs. I'd be like, I'm not really feeling blue, but in a couple years I was living those songs I had written. Not in a good way, so I'm a lot more careful about like the energy I'm putting behind those, you know, potentially self-fulfilling prophecies. So
that's
fascinating. You know, you can write your story. I feel like I find out so much about who I am as a person and who I'm becoming through the songwriting. You know, do you feel like it's reflective that way for how you're growing as a person? I
think so. I think I just like sat down the other night and I was like feeling so many heavy emotions, but what came out, and I wrote like just like a verse and a chorus of something that's super sort of nebulous still, but like what came out wasn't heaviness. It was like, it was genuinely like what to do with that heaviness. Like there was like sort of a process of just like take this and do this with it. Like it's hard to explain, but and that is new for me. Yeah, there's motion in it, and there's like, you can sort of get that off your back without sinking down into it in a song. And like, and words are so powerful, and the fact that you like kind of manifested your life with your songs in maybe positive and negative ways, but in a negative way is wild.
It's working in a positive way too. It's words are powerful, and the music is powerful, and people think about it, a lot of different ways. But if you're putting that much intention behind a concept or something, you just got to be careful with it.
Absolutely.
We're touching on some cool stuff here. Can we play another tune?
Yeah, let's do it. Speaking of like wallowing in sad songs, we could try "Cry Cry Darling."
Oh wow!
Would you want to maybe be?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yay.
I don't know. We can try. If it sucks, you can edit it out. Cry, cry, darling. That's what I'll do if you should leave me with the blues. Cry, cry, darling. That's what I'll do. 'Cause you're the one that's in my heart. Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll try not to mess it up.
I've been thinking about manifestation recently, but thinking about it in terms of songwriting is cool. So.
Yeah, it's so powerful.
Yeah.
And like most of the music that I write these days is really, coming out of the work that Brooke and I do with the plants. And just really focusing on not necessarily, it's not wallowing, but really being that intentional with the potential of manifestation, because it's so powerful. And I think even just thinking about that, it's probably half the battle.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this could actually come true. Like, let's be careful.
No, for real. That's so interesting. I mean, even this song, like thinking about it lyrically now, like right after this conversation, he's like, for me, there will be no moonlight. If ever we should part. Like almost just basically saying that, like, I'm never gonna get over you if you leave me. My life is never gonna get better. Like, which is in some ways a manifestation.
Right.
It's just, I mean.
And then sometimes it's just a great song and a great melody.
Yeah, I mean, it's also a great song. So, cool. Maybe just a turnaround intro.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
2, 3, 1, 2.
voice is so great.
Thank you.
It was good and great. Now it's getting even stronger.
Thanks.
Like the nuance.
It's a little early still, but
Oh, he's right in there. Are your parents like really grounded folks? Like you have a really grounded energy, which I think is like so important for like when you have like a high propensity for light. Like it's so important, like the earth energy, for it to like come down, come through you. Like I'm still working on like my grounded, like my wife's super grounded and she's super expensive, like, you know, but the grounding is so important. I sense that a lot. And are your folks like pretty earthy that way?
definitely. My mom is a therapist, and she like my mom is amazing. She's one of the coolest people I know. Her name's Jen.
Oh, hi Jen.
Hi Jen.
Not just gonna make it. No, you know.
Yeah, she's incredible. She's I also grew up like super rurally in Southern Oregon, and grew up backpacking and riding horses, and like I think I think nature is like a huge grounding thing for me.
Yeah.
And both my parents, Chance.
Yeah,
my baby. But I think both my parents really, like, my dad is super outdoorsy and climbs mountains, and like so they're both like very grounded in that sense. And then my mom too is just like a very like spiritual person and very emotionally intelligent and like super grounded in that way, and like meditates every morning and does like
Do you have meditation practice?
I'm starting to. It doesn't happen every day, but on days when I do, my whole day is instantly better.
I love that line. You should meditate for 30 minutes every day. Unless you're too busy, then meditate for an hour.
That's so good. That is so good, actually. I'm gonna carry that with me. Yeah, I try to do it in the mornings. It's a game changer. Yeah.
There you go. There's another little lesson for you.
Yes.
And mandolin and music practice can really be a meditation.
It can really feel meditative.
Just like thinking about your breath, or just trying to stay centered. It can really be good for the music.
Totally. I even like being aware of different parts of your body. Like if you hold tension somewhere and you play and like only think about that part and like loosening and like noticing when you drift away. I mean, that is kind of like
yoga.
meditative. Yeah. Mandolin yoga. Stay tuned. I can lead classes. Cool. I'll try to remember all the verses. I don't know, but this is one that's just always in there, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe a turnaround kick again.
Perfect.
Okay. One, two, three. My heart is setting and lonely for the only one I love. When shall I see her? Oh, no matter still we need heaven. Oh, bury me
was really good. I love singing with you. I think our voices blend pretty good
I know,
together.
that's so fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for singing.
Oh my goodness. Well, folks, it's been a lovely visit with Rainey here. And so sistersadie.com, you can check out the tour schedule and get the last album and be looking for the next one. And so, yeah, anything you want to share about like what's coming up for you, or any final words of advice? I think we covered some good ground here.
We covered some good ground. We really did. We have some shows coming up in October. We have a couple Opry. We have a really exciting Opry on the 18th. We're playing with Patty Loveless at the Opry, which is going to be so cool. That's the next big thing that I'm just like so excited for and so stoked about. But then we actually have, I think we're doing Opry Country Classics maybe on the 30th. You can go look. And then we have a Station Inn show on Halloween, which is going to be super. We're going to dress up and like to have a fun party there. So come to the Station Inn for Halloween. That would be cool. Have you already picked out your outfit? The group chat has been discussing, but nothing finalized
y'all don't have no fun, do you?
No, not at all. Literally none. But yeah, just, shows coming up like that. But and then I'm gonna go back out to Oregon for the holidays and take a little breather and then come into the new year. So
cool. Yeah. Well, thank you for all the beautiful light you're bringing into the world with your picking, your singing, your music, and your teaching, and your personality, and all the good things.
Well, thank you.
We appreciate that. It's so important for the mandolin community. It's kind of the golden age for learning and inspiration in a way.
I think so too. I know.
So much out there you can connect with. Something for everybody. Many different flavors. So neighbors, if you've liked the video, please smash the old time like button and leave us little comments. And if you want to support the channel, you can think about going to Noe Mountain Music. Patreon.com/Noe Mountain Music. Many thanks for all the folks who have been helping us out over there. And we look forward to visiting down the road again with Rainey sometime. And thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Adios,
Bye,
neighbors.
guys.
Yeah. Yay.
Yay.
We did it.